Well, this is news of the day so far, and I say so far because we have a roster freeze that kicks in tonight, so it's possible we could see a trade today. We could see moves today that are again being made before the roster freeze kicks in tonight. First news of the day: Girard of the Colorado Avalanche has been fined $1,957.89. It's not a lot of money. That's the maximum allowed for boarding Debrincat last night. So the NHL looked at that and went, not a great hit. And then they also, Jeremy Rutherford tweeted out last night, so I retweeted it last night as well, about the Oilers' goal against St. Louis. It was confirmed that the incidental contact between Zach Kassian and St. Louis goaltender Jake Allen occurred in the white ice and did not constitute goalie interference. Also, on a related note, the Sundqvist hit. There's no discipline coming on that one. There was nothing from player safety last night. It's all good. Every night we see a new hit. Every night we see something happen that fan bases will get very upset about. And when I'm watching games, I just look at it and I go, yep, or nope. And I don't care what jersey they're wearing. It's part of what's happened with me watching as many games as possible and watching everything that I can, is trying to get a feel for, that's probably against the rules. That's probably going to get a call from player safety, or that isn't. And the Kassian hit last night, I just didn't see how it would. And again, it can come down to different camera angles. It can come down to intent can be measured as well. And I think the fact that with Girard and Debrincat, the fact these guys have a bit of a history, and they're likely going to continue that history on Saturday, I think that's part of the reason there's a fine thrown out there. And, it's one of those things that the NHL does. So I do my best. I think the fact that at the end of any given night when I do my review and then I'm reading comments right away, I'll go to my wife and go, well, tonight I'm biased against, and it's always a different team. So I find that encouraging, that it seems to always be different teams that the accusation's out there with. And again, if anyone's trying to say, well, he was biased in favor of the Oilers, no, not really, no. It's not really a thing. But again, I understand it, and this is where, fans get very protective of their own players. And they will get kind of upset when their player gets injured in a play like that last night. All right, so moving on from that. If you're a Senators fan, if you like Nikita Zaitsev, you're not going to see him for the next 2 to 4 weeks. He's out with an injury. So, Ottawa's been pretty good at covering for injuries when they take place. I would imagine they'll be able to cover for this one as well. We'll see how things go. But again, with Ottawa, when there's an injury, there's always that sort of asterisk, like, well, we're not expecting Ottawa to be a playoff team. We're not expecting them to suddenly go on a run. When we don't expect Zaitsev in this instance to be the guy that would necessarily instigate that run. So all the best to him. Hopefully he gets better soon, gets back in the lineup. Again, remember that trade freeze kicks in tonight. I have that on the board in black because I wanted to make sure I mentioned that in today's video. And then something weird that took place this morning. And while I was putting the board together, this came through. The Jets have reclaimed Eric Comrie. So they waived him before the season started. Arizona took him. Arizona then traded him to Detroit. Detroit waived him, and Winnipeg picked him up. Which means, doesn't Winnipeg have to waive somebody now? Anyways, Comrie's back in Winnipeg where all of this started. So he got in 2 games as a Red Wing. Now he's back with the Winnipeg Jets organization. And I'm pretty sure that even though they had him originally, I think if they wanted to send him to the American League because of the length of time since they last had him, I think they would have to waive him again, and then he could go somewhere else. So it's strange. Now, how do we put this? If it's within 30 days that I've picked up a player like Comrie on waivers and then I waive him again, you can pick him up, send him to the minors, no harm, no foul. You get a shot at taking him back. But if it's been, I'm pretty sure it's more than 30 days, then any team could grab him. So it's really weird. But for now, he's back as a member of the Jets, which has to be a tough life when you think about it. He's gone through 3 organizations in how many months? So, I mean, if you're married, you got a small, brand new family. And, every month or two, you might be moving to a new franchise, and now you're back to where you started, and you're like, but they've got Brossoit and Hellebuck, so I'm not going to play here. So it has to be a frustrating setup for him. So here's to hoping there's some stability for Eric Comrie from here. And in an interesting note, Tampa Bay sent Matthew Joseph down to Syracuse. So Joseph, who's been off to, admittedly, a very slow start to the season, and I keep waiting for it to turn around, and it hasn't happened. It doesn't look like it's going to happen at the NHL level. So send him down to Syracuse. He can get himself some confidence and come back up and play like he did last season. Last season was pretty good. So for Tampa, they have the depth to cover for that for sure, but it's another surprising storyline for Tampa that's not surprisingly great storyline like almost everything that happened to them last year. So there you go. And I get the feeling there's going to be other news trickling in today because of the roster freeze that kicks in tonight. I think there may be some other minor deals. There have been some minor trades that have occurred over the last few days I haven't reported on because it's a minor leaguer for a minor leaguer. And these are guys who aren't even projected to likely play in the NHL, so it's more of an AHL video than an NHL video. And I haven't started the AHL level videos yet. Those are coming, though, by the way. But, yeah, so there you go. Just a quick little little pre-trade freeze news video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And the Comrie situation. Let me know what you guys think the Jets are thinking by reclaiming him. And where does he end up in the grand scheme of things? Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. And I will talk to you again soon. Oh, and hit like and subscribe if you're just browsing your way through.